Hey homies, welcome back to a new video. So, as I promised, I would do a tier list video of the analog horrors that I have watched over the time. Now, what I will say is, I'm judging these on the basis of how good they are, quality, story, stuff like that. It's my own personal opinion, so for any reason, if I do rank them a bit lower than others, it's my own personal opinion, and it's not a dig at the creator or anything like that. Let's get to the tier list. So how this video is going to work is we will be watching between sort of like 20 to 30 seconds of a clip of per Analog Horror series, and then obviously I will then explain how I basically put it on the tier list and all that stuff. So yeah. So the first one we got is Children Under the House. This has been created by Vintage 8.
Did you have a chance to do the homework? No, John, I thought I was prepared to see what she wanted to show me. I was wrong.
So Vintage 8 has been around for quite some time, and honestly, the creator themselves is amazing. They've also created Tanji Virus and also Oracle, which we are going to be rating a bit later. But what I will say is, for the quality of Children Under the House, the story was just so well done. It was one of them stories where, I mean, even with like the creation, these were created by Vintage 8 himself, as in, so if you actually watch the whole series, you can see that with some of the notes on the screen, so you may have seen it a little bit in the drawings, they were done by himself, and he actually did send them out to some YouTubers. Unfortunately, I didn't get one because I never responded to him, I don't think. Kind of annoying for my part, but there we go. But it's a very, very good series. It was one that I've not even finished yet either, to be honest. So I'm kind of basing this off what I know so far. I think I got to maybe 7. I think there's like 9 episodes maybe. I got to like 7. So there are still a few I need to do at this point. But I'm going to have to give it an S tier just because it just hits what you're looking for. It gives an analog horror vibe and it gives you that story there. And just the creator themselves really, really does give it a good one, I have to admit. Now going to be rating the next one, which is the Herxer catalog, which was created by Yugi. Yugi, again, is a very, very cool creator. And, yeah, have a look at this.
I'm Peppa Pig. This is my little brother George. This is Mummy Pig. And this is Daddy Pig. Peppa Pig.
So after watching the Herxer catalogue, which I have reacted to every single one of them, bear in mind, it was a very, at first it was quite a confusing Analog Horror Series, to be honest, because it was Peppa Pig, which to me was actually one of my first videos I reacted to, just in general, before I'd done any other stuff really. And the video done very well. And I'm sure from if I remember rightly, looking at Yugi's subs right now, Yugi has really gone somewhere with this series. Peppa Pig was the first one, obviously then there was a couple more which brought Yu-Gi-Oh into it, and a few other different characters. I even think Squid Games was involved in it. So with all of that, it just makes it so unique that you've added people in there that I don't see in any other Analog Horror series. And I'm sure you guys can probably confirm that. The only thing that was a little bit of a downer for me, personally, was that there was some kind of story to it, but the only thing was, the Peppa Pig one at the start, I know it was their first Analog Horror, so I can kind of say, you know, fair enough, that it was the first one, but then I think what could have happened really is something could have been continued with it further. But like I say, this isn't a bash to Yugi, this is just my own personal opinion of what I would have done if it was my own series, I guess. but the quality of it was amazing. It was very well done. You know, there was different, the VHS effects in it. You had the 4x3, you know, had stuff like that. So it made it unique in that aspect. And the Peppa Pig thing was like the big bit for me, if I'm brutally honest. So I'm gonna have to give that as an A tier, just because like the story part of it for me didn't really fit it so well. But then the way you could look at it is maybe I just don't understand it fully. So if Yugi can clarify that, or anybody else can, then, you know, maybe going forward, it might hit an S. We've done 2 so far, and it's felt like this has took me forever, but there we go. All right, so the next one is called the James Park Experiment. And this is actually one of my most recent videos that I've uploaded over time. So this Analog Horror series is actually kind of new. It's only been out for about 3 weeks. Now, I actually did locate this one via Reddit, in the subreddit of Analog Horror, where somebody was sort of saying, check out this series. So I did. You know what? I do help out the creators that are new, or they're underrated, you know, and there's a lot of them that are. And I would say all these creators on this list are underrated by far. But going back to James Park, in regards to the whole point of it, the only downfall for me, and this is why it's going to go as an A, I'm going to put it as an A straight up. I'm not even going to really, I can put it as an A straight away. The story's great, but the only downfall for me is that there's a watermark on the video. Now, for me personally, that isn't a dig again at the creator. I don't actually know if this creator has made it via mobile, or they've done it online, or whatever. I don't know. Never used InShot, so I wouldn't know from my experience. But that's the only downfall for it. Other than that, the story's very good. There are bits that I'm still confused about, and I'm still trying to work it out myself. But the quality of it was very good. It was in the quality that you want. The VHS effect was a little bit over the top, to be honest. If you do look at the clip you've seen, you can tell that, like, it is a little bit crazy. So for me, when I did do the reaction video, I actually ended up nearly having a headache at the end of it, because I was just like, whoa, so much going on, you know. But other than that, the story was good. It just needs a bit more clarifying. But like I say, they're only on like their 9th video. So hopefully we might get a bit of clarity going forward. But then also, the only thing I will say, from even on the video, I think I did say this, that I kind of feel like 9 videos is a bit much for where the story's at. The story could have been confirmed a lot quicker in maybe 3 or 4, and it could have just been a bit of long form content. And I have kind of noticed that a lot of people nowadays like the long form content, especially the ones that I do. So that's why it's going to sit at A tier. Right. Getting there. We're slowly getting there. So this is the 4th one now. We're looking at the Loveland Occurrence. Have a check out at this one.
I didn't want you.
Doctor, what are you going to do to me? Will it hurt?
No, Emilia, you will be fine. Remember the last time we used the small metal rods that tingled you? We will do this today. It will fast tingle a bit more.
Oh, okay. I hope not too much. I didn't like the tingling.
Don't worry. Fast relax. Close your eye anytime.
So the Loveland Occurrence is, again, one of those Analog Horror series that I really enjoyed reacting to. The story's amazing. It really does hit home, some parts of it, because some of it did hit me at home in regards to like my depression that I currently have, and, you know, things like that. The quality is amazing. It really is. And just generally, like, it gives me so much fear of, you know, what could happen if, you know, you had an experiment done to you like that, like the clip showed. It's just unreal. And Amelia ended up being pretty effed up after all of that. And Mr. Howard's also was included in that. So the Loveland Occurrence has actually been around for a while. The only difference with it is that they uploaded like 9-10 months ago. then it went quiet for ages. And then I'm randomly on YouTube, you know, and I'm like checking it out, you know, doing whatever. And it comes up and I'm like, oh, you know, new video. So anyway, but I would say this is going to probably go as like an A tier. The reason why, for me personally, is because it's not finished, I don't think, fully yet. And I don't want to give something like an S without it being fully done. And, you know, it's one of them series that, like, needs more attention. It really does. And, you know, I try to give it the attention with the video. The videos actually I've done pretty well, considering. But yeah, I really, really did enjoy it. And it goes as an A, 100%. And I think once it's done, there may well be an S it might hit. But not really much more I can say about this one, really, because, like I say, it's one of those series that it's a hard one to kind of clarify where it would sit fully. But like I say, with it not finished, we'll give it an A. Of course, you guys are going to know what the next one is. This is the Macabre experiment. So, of course, the Macabre experiment is created by Stuffy Studios, which I'm sure all of you watching this video must know who they are. If you don't, then I'm going to be surprised. So, Stuffy Studios started off with Smile Dog on the Macabre experiment, and then it kind of drifted up to, like, Candle Cove. Then it's gone to stuff like, you know, Zelda and all of that kind of thing, Link or whatever it is. And those reaction videos, I really did enjoy, honestly. Smile Dog itself was probably my favourite one. Just because it was like, don't spread the image, you know, don't do this, don't do that. The quality of the videos are amazing too. And, you know, there's just so much that, you know, you can nitpick at, as in the respect of like how good it is. You can just nitpick at the small thing and go like, oh my God, this bit is amazing. Like, you know, and it just shows that, you know, you don't need to have a story all the time on Analog Horror Series. You can just get an idea from some like old footage, VHS stuff, and just put it into something. And that's what Stuffy's good at. Stuffy also obviously does have male addiction. The reason I'm not going to be rating that is because that isn't fully done yet. And I think the Macabre experiment is pretty much finished. Whether Stuffy will continue is still questionable at this point, I think. But it would be something I would love to see. Now, the reason I'm going to give this an S is because Stuffy is just one of those content creators that if I give it any lower, I know I'm going to get complaints, probably. Either way, I know it's my own personal opinion, but still. But you have to put Stuffy there because the quality of them are amazing, and, you know, there's not really much more that I could say, because I think you guys know what the situation is when it comes down to the Macabre experiment, you know? There's no more you can say about it, really, is there? It's just one of them series that can't down. You really can't. You just generally can't do it, can you? You know, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. So, of course, if you don't know what this one is that we're doing next, well, the Mandela catalogue, of course.
I will fool the shepherds. I will know their greatest fear. I will know your greatest fear. Wake up, Joseph. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Before I even talk about the Mandela catalogue, you're going to have to put it as an S tier. The reason behind that is it's blatant. Alex Kister has gone from, you know, this YouTuber that started a random Analog Horror Series, you know, the Mandela. And then within some time, there's so many volumes out, there's so many remakes, and people are remaking them and everything. And it just shows that the Mandela catalogue is really a very, very interesting series. And most of the ones I've done, so I mean, I'm basing this on the whole series, bear in mind, but the ones that are my favourite, personally, are Overthrown and Intruder Alert. Them two were very fun, if I'm honest with you. They were very, very cool. I think they were coming up like some of his earlier stuff. I do also remember checking out the Scrimbo catalogue as well, which was like a parody that he done of the Mandela catalogue. And again, that even was S tier. It was hilarious. And that was actually, I'm sure that is like my biggest video, the most views ever. It really is. So Alex, thank you, man. Because I mean, you're probably not going to watch this, to be fair. But in general, he was the one that, he's partly to the reason why that I've got you guys here subbing, because it was my biggest video. Like, 100% from Scrimbo anyway. But you can't down the Mandela catalogue at all. You really can't. With all the remakes that have been done and still being done, and still people wanting me to react to them, it just shows how good it is. And just going from a video that is like old school, I'm sure it's like Bible stuff, isn't it? Like old school Bible stuff, and like a TV show, I think, stuff like that. I could be wrong, so if I am, correct me. But like, just how you can make that, into a full series and still create even more volumes and add them on, and they still make people click on them. As soon as a new video goes live, I'm sure, which I actually have seen, people just click it and they're indulged because they're like, oh my god, Alex is uploaded, let's go. Like, it's just some crazy stuff. And yeah, I have to put it as an S tier. I can't give it any less than that. Next one we've got now is the Oracle Project, which is a sequel to the Tanji virus, and this is by Vintage 8.
Progress has been made since her death. Perhaps the other species will spare you in exchange for a possible cure to the Tanji virus. Shall I inquire? Good news. They accept. Apparently, this virus is a galactic plague. It has enslaved many worlds.
As we know, Vintage 8 also did create the Children Under the House. And of course, it's going to have to sit under the S tier. Because I think, I mean, to be fair, we could probably do both together, to be honest, and say Tanji's going to be at that as well. Just how Vintage 8 can make a series off the bat with nothing behind it, really. A bit of history about, the Tanji virus and the Oracle. And just how you can get an idea like that. I think I haven't watched it in forever, but I'm sure the Tanji virus, or at least the Oracle, it's linked to something that happened years ago. And how you can make a story from that into a series is unreal. It really is. Like, who has those kind of ideas? I don't get it. I don't get how people do it. And I thought my series was going to be unique, but I don't think I can make it any more unique than these. Honestly, like, a lot of these on this list are unique, 100%. So, how you creators really do get that, I don't know. I honestly question it, and it makes me think, do I take it from you guys or what? Maybe I should. But yeah, it's a very, very cool series. The Oracle Project does go back to the Oracle's a PC game, like a basic, not a gaming PC. That's not a bit stupid. It's like a basically an old school computer that is able to like contact extraterrestrial, that kind of shit. And yeah, it's quite a nerving analog horror series, to be honest. There was parts of it I remember I was jump scaring, and then there was this one guy I think on there that he basically is part of something to do with the Tanji virus, and he was just an absolute dick. And like, I remember commenting on him in the video going, this guy's an absolute ass, blah blah blah. So yeah, but the quality of the the series is very well done. It follows through, and again, you can check out the full video. But, the next one we have is the Quinton Sanders tapes. Now, this one, again, is amazing, and I love it. And we are going to have a check it out now, and this is being created by Orange Domino Studios.
You have heard our call.
What are you doing here? What's your purpose?
We have broken free from the abyss, scattered across the droplets of your cosmic infinitium. We are here to fulfill and help you prosper. You've spent your entire life searching for the goal. That goal is wealth, power. We can bestow you with such gifts.
How?
Release us and we shall show you.
Orange Domino Studios actually created this is unreal to me. It really is. This was a reaction video again that I didn't do. I did do. I don't know what I'm chatting on. I'm chatting crap. So it was a video that I done not that long ago. Okay. It's a long form video. You have to watch it in one go. If you skip it, it's just not going to happen. And yeah, a story again was it's a start of a series which does actually move on to the unnecessary files, which is something I'm not rating today because it's only one video, so I can't really base it on that, to be honest. The Quinton Sanders tapes could have been done over a couple of videos, but the reason Orange done it, I guess, is one, is to make it just nice and simple and get it done. Story's very dark. There's a lot to it. I think it's a Wayfinder, if I'm right. Yeah, I think it's Wayfinder, if I remember rightly. But the Wayfinder was so creepy, and I didn't even think he would speak until I'm like watching the video, and I'm like, oh my god, they're chatting to him. And then the guy in the clip that you saw, I commented on him a million times, say that he was an ass, because he was an ass. And I'm glad that whatever happened to him did. But Quinton himself was generally quite a nice guy. I do kind of feel that he could have got on really well with the woman in the video too. They should have dated, but I think they both died. But my thing I look at though, is I've been saying this for a while, that I do kind of feel that Quinton is still alive somewhere, and Orange is just kind of keep us on suspense with it. But no, it was a very, very cool series. I really enjoyed it. Well done as well. The quality is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. And the story did really hit home. And like I say, there were parts that scared me. There were parts that were unnerving and jumpy a little bit. And like I say, it's one of those series that it's hard to explain what you think about it, because you just can't down it. You can't give any feedback that's negative. And not that I'm a person that does negative feedback much, but I would say it's definitely worth the watch. So go and check it out, and it's going to have to sit, for me, at an S tier. It's really, really simple as that. We now have the Rockwell Forest. Now again, this one I haven't actually finished yet, but I've done quite a bit, so we can definitely base it on that. Let's check it out. Funny enough, the Rockwell Forest is one of these series, again, which is a lot of found footage, which I think a lot of it was actually created within real life. So sometimes you get people that will add, found footage that they found online, and they might put a filter on it so it looks a bit more VHS-y, analog horror-y. I don't know if that's even a word, but yeah. But getting to the point of it, I think a lot of it was actually created, as in taken from real life footage that they had taken on their own camera, which makes it amazing. The guy called Daniel is pretty effed up, and from that clip you can see that, you can tell how dark it is. It's a very, very dark series, and it was a series at first that one of the first videos I'd done actually back in the day. That was long form. I think it was my first long form video I ever done actually, if I'm brutally honest with you. And well, at least one of them that I did, it's something that I need to go back to, and it's a story that kept me going, it's kept me interested. The only reason I've not done it personally is because there's just so much I need to catch up on, and there's other stuff that kind of goes ahead of that right now. That's why I've not gone back to it, but I'm gonna be. It's gonna happen because I need to see where Daniel is. Again, the quality of it is very good. The story is very cool. Because I haven't watched it in like forever, the story's a bit sort of in my mind, not in my mind as much now. But it's something that we're going to see going forward. And just because of the found footage that was, most of it, I'm sure, was created and taken by Rockwell Forest themselves, it's going to sit at S. So we're back with some more Vintage 8 content. This is the Tanji virus.
An A-mate that's on Highway 16 west of town, and we're very proud to have the 2 health units in the parish to accommodate the needs of the people, whether it be for their shots or whatever the service that we can render to the people. We feel like that we have the facilities now that will satisfy those needs.
Well, stay with us, everybody, because in addition to this facility here, we'll show you...
So I'm not going to say too much about this because, to be fair, I did kind of go through it in the article. So we're going to give this an S tier, and we're going to leave it at that. Just because I've kind of already spoken about it, to some degree at least. We're now moving on to Diamond Worlds, the Nick DVD. So the Nick DVD is an analog horror series which brings in a lot of SpongeBob. Now, a lot of SpongeBob was in this is from sort of like lost tapes that were from ages ago, and the story of it again is very well done. Diamond deserves a lot more recognition for this series. I think I've reacted to it and a few others have too, and always good feedback. I've never had any negative feedback on it at all. The main reason behind it is because it's just one of them series that, like, I really enjoy SpongeBob, to be honest. And I was with my brother when I was younger. You know, it was what I grew up with. So a lot of this I do remember briefly. You know, from back in the day. It's unreal, and it kind of gives me just nostalgia. So because of that, I enjoyed reacting to them. And also, the main reason why this is going to get an S tier is also because Diamond used his own footage. Diamond actually recorded himself with his own voice. I think his own voice. I'm sure we did go through this at one point months ago, and he did clarify that he used his own voice. So being able to do that for an Analog Horror series and to make entertaining and unnerving and flipping scary and jump scares, bear in mind, yeah, it really does well. And another reason for the S tier is because people have been doing remakes of his content. The Mr. Man is, I think, one of the main ones who has. He is a subscriber of mine, or at least he was. Whether he is or not now, I don't know, but he definitely was at some point. But yeah, Diamond World, I'm going to give you an S, man, because at the end of the day, your content is very well done, and you need more. Hopefully you got a new series coming out soon. Sure, you've got Series 2 coming out, I think. So I'm looking forward to it. Keep it going, bro. The next one we're doing is Tri-Red Archives. This has been created by Tri-Red Archives. It's really, really simple as that.
Father and mother lose their daughter at Triad Park. The mother is hysterical, but the father keeps his composure. The mother is and remembers the 4 easy steps to find his daughter. Step 1. Remain calm. Step 2. Stay exactly where you last saw her.
The Tri-Red Archives is one of these basically analog horror series that has, if I'm honest, kind of died right now. They haven't uploaded in like forever. And it's very strange because Tri-Red was actually one of these series that I actually enjoyed reacting to. It was very scary, actually. I think they've got like 3 videos. The only thing that I remember from it, I think it was the second video, which was to do with a bathtub or some bathing. But that was kind of the only reason why I'm going to give this an A tier. The main reason behind it is the first video and the third video was absolutely crazy. And it was really good because it was scary, it was jumpy. There was definitely some kind of story to it, at least within reason, right? But then when number 2 came out, it just kind of, for me, it kind of lost the analog horror feel, as in the eerie part of it. Now, I know that analog horror doesn't have to be scary all the time. It can be quiet or whatever. But when you've got kind of like, I guess, a child's show with a bathtub, and it's like, it just kind of lost the vibe for me. From watching the first and the third, and then having that thing in the middle, it kind of lost the vibe for me. But other than that, it was good. The quality was good. It was well done. But I don't know if they're going to be making any more. So, I mean, maybe going forward, if their next video, if they ever do make any more, was better, or at least was as good as the first 1 and 3, then it may hit an S tier. But the reason for the A, just because that middle video, it kind of ruined it for me, personally. But again, this isn't a dig at the creator. This is my own personal opinion. So you guys might have a different opinion, and if you do, let me know. The Walten Files is next, which is kind of obvious because everybody knows what that is, and if you don't, again, I'll be quite surprised.
Is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale.
How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale.
With the Walten Files, I actually reacted only to the first, I think, like maybe 2 videos. I haven't even finished the final one because I'm sure it's very long. And at the time, the Walten Files, the first 2 videos were actually my first ever reaction videos on YouTube, or for Analog Horror anyway. So it kind of, yeah, I need to still do the 3rd one, and I think that is why I'm going to give it an S tier, because, you know, you can't really make it any less than that, can you? It's probably one of the biggest, if anything, like the Mandela catalogue, one of the biggest, like, series that everybody knows within this community of Analog Horror. So, yeah, I'm going to just leave it at that for that, really, because there's not really much more you can say, because, you know, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. This one is War of the Worlds. This is an analog horror of that film.
Record by Buffy St. Marie to bring you a report from KB News Director Don Lancer on his way to Grand Island.
We're now heading north on the South Grand Island Bridge. We've just passed what has to be one of the largest areas of traffic congestion that I've seen in and around the Buffalo area or anywhere in western New York. As we come across the bridge off to our right, we can see an orange light rising in the sky. It seems to be covering quite a large area along East River Road.
This series is something unique. It was something that I did state in the description of my reaction video to this. This was actually done via radio. Now, what I mean by radio is the analog horror itself was just based on radio tapes. I think these are actually legit ones from back in the day. Whether the creators edited them, I don't know. That's something I don't know. But also, there was not really much horror to it, but it was the story of War of the Worlds that really kind of hit you. And just being in that situation, you know, where you've got this thing, big like robot thing, and it's like killing everybody and it's going crazy. The army are out there, and you know, you got these news reporters there. It's just crazy. And some of the found footage on there, again, is very good quality. And also, just because of how the radio thing is something different that I've not seen. And also, like, with the, so if you watch that clip, you can see that the people that are talking, it pops up, and the AI is moving. And that's something I've never seen in analog horror until now. There could be other ones out there that do it, but for me personally, that's the first one I've ever reacted to and seen. So it's going to go as an S tier, just because it's so much different to any other analog horror series that I've ever seen. And that's all I can really say at it, to be honest, because it's just something that, like, is so unique and different to other analog horror series that are on this list, if I'm brutally honest. We're going to be rating the last one now, which is the YGW catalogue.
No, wait. Yeah, that one. Okay, let's see. Yeah, remember that guy that came here? What guy? I interviewed him. About the crimes. Oh, the one from the janitor corp. Yeah, he went missing. Missing? That's a little strange. I'm not joking, he went missing. I hear you.
The YGW catalogue is one of these analog horror series that, again, is unique in its own way. There's a story to it, it's scary, it's creepy, and it really does scare you a bit, if I'm honest. I think there's only maybe 2 of them, 3 of them. I think there might be 3 actually. There's one I've not reacted to, which has been released quite recently, and people are wanting me to do it. So again, I am going to do that. I'm going to give it an A tier, only because I've not finished it yet, so I can't really 100% confirm where we're at with it. And to be honest, I haven't watched it in forever, so I'm going to have to give it an A. But I guess none of them hit a B, so well done. So there you go, guys. That is my tier list. Hopefully it was something that was interesting for you. I do kind of feel like this dragged on a bit, so unfortunately, sorry if it's a bit long. And again, if you don't really agree with anything I said, then let me know in the comments. I'm open for some feedback. And yeah, there's definitely... we will do some more Analog Horror Series tier lists going forward. These are definitely the main ones that we've got. Me. Like I say, all my opinions are based on my own opinion and personal view. They're not to dig at any creators that I've, put on here. No one got in the B tier. And I mean, to be fair, as much as I say, like, oh, some of them are A, blah, 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 some of them, I would say, even where I put them in A tier, they could probably jump in an S. But unfortunately, I can't put all in S, because then it just looks like it's dodgy, doesn't it? And then it's a pointless video. But there are small bits, in the A tier, there are little bits to the reasons why I've not given it, a full S. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and any feedback, let me know. And thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.